Hello YouTube, this is Commander Ironside and this is Operation Reclamation, USA China 4. So for purchases, US will be purchasing a transport to infantry and an artillery for 17, two transports, two infantry and an artillery for 24, and two subs and two destroyers for 28. And the US will be saving one, and then China will be buying two infantry for 6. So 4 combats to declare this turn. The first combat is the TAC and the fighters. And what the heck, these two fighters as well will all be attacking that destroyer. The TAC will be target selecting it and hopefully getting a hit. The destroyer in C-Zone 10. So the fighters, all the planes came from the 4 from the carriers and 2 from the island. They moved 2. The ones from the islands moved 3, so they all have 2 left. The destroyer in 10 will go 1 into 19, 2 into 8, 3 into 4, and attack that Japanese sub. And then, I don't know if these are combat moves, but there's no contest. The two transports in 91 will be picking up 2 infantry, or 2 mechs. Sorry, 2 mechs. And moving to 1 to 104, 2 to 110, 3 to 112. 1 will offload into Norway, and 1 will offload into Western Germany. And then we have a series of non-combat moves. So we have 2 battles to roll. Let me grab that. See where you can see that. So here in the battle for C-Zone 49, there's 1 TAC that's target selecting the destroyer. Hopefully we get a hit here because I don't want to lose a plane, but you never know. And that is a hit. So that destroyer is removed. And then the next battle is for C-Zone 4. We have a destroyer going up against a sub. So hold on. So I can actually roll that together. Both misses, you can see that. Hit, the destroyer hit, the sub missed. So my dice are coming back to me, which is nice. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and finish off the US non-combat moves, and then we'll do China. China doesn't have any battles to declare. So the battleship and the aircraft carrier in C-Zone 10 will go to Hawaii. And all of the planes in C-Zone 49 will land on the carriers. All right, it's a mess, but I'll deal with it later. Okay. The sub in 22 will go back to Wake. You know, I've moved that sub to Marianas thinking that the Japanese ship that was in 21 that ultimately went to 36 was a transport. I have these painted pieces that I've gotten, but when I looked at it on the board, I thought it was a transport. So I guess shame on me for for having painted pieces, but I just got to get used to them. So, but those are the kind of mistakes we make when we're filming. So over here, the U.S. fleet in 91 is going to move up to 110. The transports, the two transports in C-Zone 101 are going to load with 3 infantry, a mech, and 2 artillery, and move up to 106. The guys will be on the land, not that I think it really matters. The bomber in 20, this bomber in eastern United States will pick up 2 infantry and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and land in Gibraltar. It's an air transport. These pieces are too tall. Those bombers are metal. They're actually beautiful, but the problem is the stands are so thin that you see what happens is I knock them over all the time. I'm gonna have to rectify that and get some plastic painted US bombers. It's something I want Wolfdens to do for me. I think I've already ordered them. It's just he's got a long lead time, so, but they're worth it. Let's see. Is there anything else to move over here on this side of the board? Nothing to do there. Those guys are there. I'm just looking at the board. I took Western Germany. I took Norway. I put those guys there. On this side of the board, I've consolidated here. We did those 2 battles. All right, so we'll do China. Well, I'll do deployments, I guess. So, the transport, the 2 infantry, and the artillery will go down in C-Zone 101. Well, the guys, the units will go into eastern United States. The transport will go into 101. And the 2 transports, artillery, and 2 infantry, the 2 subs, and the 2 destroyers, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units, so I can do that. We'll go down in Western United States and C-Zone 10. So 2 destroyers, 2 US subs, 2 transports, and then these 2 infantry and the artillery will go down into Western United States. So that's all the US movements. For China, we're going to move back to Kansu and put our 2 new units into Kansu as well. And hopefully we're going to have a Russian invasion force that's going to join us. Or at least that's the thought. So, from an income perspective, US is at 50, but US will go up by 3 for Norway, and up by 5 for Western Germany. And oh, by the way, the Western German factory is now, gets downgraded to a minor factory. I will place that on the board later. But so the US is up 8 and Germany is down 8. So the US goes to 58, and if I have Germany right, it goes to 46. I'm not 100% certain of that. And then there's no other income changes. So for next turn, US is collecting 58 in income plus 20 in bonuses. So that's 78. It saved 1. So it will have 79 to spend next turn. China's at 2. So it will have a glorious $2, which it won't be able to do anything with next turn, but that's the way China goes sometimes. So let's see. So very interesting game. Japan was very aggressive. As we've said, they attacked French Indochina turn 1, Turn 2, they spread out, brought U.S. into the war. Turn 3, they attacked Queensland. Turns 4, they took Sydney. The U.S. was kind of playing a balance game on a strategy where we were kind of balancing things out between the Atlantic and the Pacific. It's kind of working out in the Atlantic. At least I like how we're positioned. But over in the Pacific, the U.S. has been, underperforming relative to Japan, and Japan's now a beast. So, lesson learned is, if your opponent takes French Indochina turn 1, they're probably going to go hard, and maybe you got to think about, what you want to do from a U.S. perspective, or at least I'll think about that next time. But anyway, so very interesting game. Really enjoyed it. Been great opponents, and we'll see how it goes. I think the Allies are at 10 victory points right now, on the door for 11. So, this can go down to the wire, and it's anyone's game, because there's a number of other victory points that could be at play. So from a deployment of forces, let's go through this. Sorry, I'm rambling. Just for some reason feel compelled to shoot a 14-minute video. Western United States, there is a AAA, 2 artillery, 2 infantry, C-Zone 10, 2 transports, 2 destroyers, 2 subs. C-Zone 4, there's a U.S. destroyer. C-Zone 26, 3 aircraft carriers with 5 fighters and attack, 2 bombers, 2 cruisers, 3 destroyers, 3 transports. On the Isle of Hawaii, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 2 artillery, a tank, and a AAA. That's all the pieces over there. In Gibraltar, there's an air transport, 4 infantry, 2 artillery. In C-Zone 110, there's a U.S. aircraft carrier with a U.S. fighter. There's also a British fighter on there, a destroyer and a cruiser. There's a single mech in Western Germany and a single mech in Norway. And then in C-Zone 106, there are 2 transports. In New Brunswick, there is 2 artillery, 2 infantry, 3 infantry, and a mech. C-Zone 101, it's a transport, 2 infantry, 2 AAA. In Eastern United States. And in China, we have 4 infantry and a fighter in Kansu. Great game, look forward to it. Having fun. Can't wait to finish this one up and start the next one. Thanks.